Have you ever wondered why nobody uses the prayer card as much in solo or in duos? Well, it's mainly just because the card's not bad, it's just not that good in general. But what if we make an entire challenge based upon it? You've grown used to cards like Power Stab, Line Bounce, or some effect cards like Free Fire, Free Poison. But nobody really uses prayer because it's best off in parties and not often is useful in solo play because of the random effects that can help or hurt you. But what if we made a prayer run? Now usually prayer only runs are always too long and too SPUs to actually be useful, as prayer costs 4 SP and 5 SP without SP Saver, and without it there's only 2 ways to do damage, with dazzling light on the enemies and fire from the sky. Wait, hold on. If this is a prayer challenge, why am I attacking with the rocket boots? This is not a pray-only run, as that would take way too long and is not fun at all. Instead, prayer dictates what you get to do for your next turn. Here are some of the base rules for the God's Will challenge. These must be followed at all times, except for very few exceptions. First off, the challenge begins in Chapter 2. We obviously can't get prayer in Chapter 1, making that obsolete. You may play however you want in Chapter 1. The only condition is that you must finish the chapter with at least 777 ticks so that you can begin Chapter 2 immediately. Rule 2. Due to the fact that you need 6 BP, you must be at least level 2 with a BP upgrade in order to start this challenge. After that, you can put any hard mode or any cards like that onto you, but I highly do not recommend this, as that makes the challenge way too hard. Rule 3 is that cards that add strategies or attacks are not allowed, except for very few exceptions. So things like Charge Defense, Line Bounce, and Power Stab are banned. However, Free Fire, Free Poison, Fireball, Snowball, etc. are allowed. I'll get to why in a second. Rule 4 is that prayer must always be equipped once you have it on. If you need BP for other cards, you're going to need to work it around prayer. You have to absolutely keep prayer in your deck at all times. Rule 5. Cards like SP Saver, Happy SP, Defend Plus, and Good Vibes are very allowed, as they help you regain SP needed for prayer. There are no limits to how many you can stack, though I'd highly recommend equipping these cards. Rule 6. On your turn, you may only defend/pass. Focus. Use the Ice Dagger. Prayer. Use Good Vibes, or do a prayer action. Any actions outside of any of these are strictly prohibited. Although technically not required, it is highly recommended to have summons, as one prayer action has you summon an ally. The final rule is that for hatred, you must start and end the fight with a prayer, regardless of what you do otherwise in the middle. And with the rules out of the way, let us begin with the prayer actions. So what exactly is a prayer action? Well, a prayer action is an action you take based on the effect of a prayer you did. For example, if you get a 2 attack buff, then you may attack once for your turn, just so no SP could be used. There's an entire Google Doc I have, just in case you forget, but I'll show them on screen right now. I have the Google Doc in the description, and it's on commenter mode, meaning that if the prayer card gets updated, or that you have suggestions for prayer actions, that you may leave them there. After killing the cruel king, you feel an immense amount of guilt. The king was not necessarily a bad person, just a person that became a force that had to be stopped. Seeking solace, you look everywhere and eventually settle on Christianity. However, God has other plans for you. He has chosen you to help save his other children around the world. As well as your quest with Builderman, God will be your partner for this journey. So, children of God, can you complete God's will? Good luck.